In the complex, gilded world of the British monarchy, tradition is often seen as an unbreakable contract between the crown and its people. For generations, an unspoken understanding seemed to exist that the dramas of one generation shouldn't necessarily derail the lives of the next, especially for those born into royalty but not destined for the throne. This was the quiet buffer zone that was supposed to offer some protection to Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. For years, this informal arrangement seemed to shield Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie from the worst of the storms surrounding their family. But as the consequences of their father's choices continue to mount, one has to ask, can any tradition truly protect you when a scandal this damaging hits so close to home? The arrest of their father wasn't just a shocking headline. It was a seismic event that threatened to shatter the careful balance the sisters had maintained. For most of their lives, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie have held a unique and, until recently, relatively stable place within the royal family. As granddaughters of the late Queen Elizabeth II, they were born with the titles of Princess and Her Royal Highness, yet they have never been working royals. This is a key distinction. Unlike their cousin, Prince William, they don't receive public funds and have built their own careers in the private sector. This hybrid status gave them a certain kind of perceived freedom. They were royal, with all the lineage that implies, but they were also private citizens in practice. That was their shield. The public largely understood they weren't carrying out hundreds of official engagements a year, so the intense scrutiny reserved for senior royals was mostly aimed elsewhere. They could attend major family events, like Trooping the Colour or Christmas at Sandringham, as beloved family members without every move being dissected as a reflection of the monarchy itself. This setup was seen as a modern solution to the age-old problem of an expanding royal family. It allowed them to be part of the pageantry while keeping a respectful distance from the institution's core operations. Historically, the grandchildren of a monarch have often been given this degree of insulation. Their role is to add a sense of family depth and continuity, to populate the Buckingham Palace balcony, smile, and then retreat into their comparatively normal lives. This unspoken agreement seemed to work for decades. Beatrice built a career in finance and technology. Eugenie established herself in the art world as a gallery director. They married, had children, and navigated their public lives with a blend of duty and a desire for normalcy. They used their platforms to support causes they were passionate about, from anti-slavery initiatives to children's education. By all accounts, they were perfectly performing their roles as non-working royals. But no one accounted for a scandal so toxic and so close to home that this carefully constructed shield would prove to be incredibly fragile. The arrangement was never designed to withstand the catastrophic fallout from their own father, Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. The story of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor's fall from grace is not new, but its consequences continue to unfold. For years, his association with the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein has haunted the House of Windsor. The disastrous 2019 BBC Newsnight interview, the subsequent stripping of his military affiliations and royal patronages, and his banishment from using his HRH title were all desperate attempts to cauterize a wound that refused to heal. The royal family hoped that by exiling Andrew from public life, they could contain the damage. In early 2026, the scandal reached a new, dramatic peak. On February 19th, his 66th birthday, Andrew was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Reports linked the arrest to his ties with Epstein. The arrest sent a shockwave through the monarchy, a nightmare scenario realized. King Charles III issued a stunningly direct statement, declaring that the law must take its course and promising the full cooperation of the royal family. It was a clear and brutal signal. Andrew was on his own. The institution could not, and would not, protect him. He was released from police custody after being held for hours, but the investigation remains active. This explosive development was amplified by the ongoing release of documents from the Epstein files by the U.S. Department of Justice. While being named in the files does not imply wrongdoing, the sheer volume of connections and renewed public scrutiny have been relentless. For Beatrice and Eugenie, This was the moment the ground gave way beneath them. Their father was no longer just a source of public embarrassment. He was the subject of a criminal investigation tying back to one of the most toxic scandals of the 21st century. The scandal was no longer a contained fire. It was a raging inferno threatening to consume everything and everyone it touched. Major royal events are more than just dates on a calendar. They are a public display of the monarchy's stability and continuity. For Beatrice and Eugenie, being part of these gatherings has always been a birthright. But their father's arrest has thrown their future participation into question. Following the arrest, reports began to circulate that the sisters' presence at upcoming public events was being reconsidered. Publications like the Mail on Sunday claimed the sisters were completely blindsided by reports they would be excluded from Royal Ascot in June, including the prestigious royal box and carriage procession. According to these reports, the decision was part of a wider strategy to distance them from public-facing events for the foreseeable future. While Buckingham Palace has not officially confirmed these claims, the speculation itself highlights the princess's precarious position. Royal commentators have noted that their inclusion in events like the Commonwealth Day service, Easter Sunday, and Trooping the Color is now uncertain. A source reportedly told one newspaper that even if the sisters attend an event like Ascot privately, they can't be seen in the royal carriage procession with all this going on. This reported shift in attitude marks a significant change. Where the princesses were once seen as uncontroversial members of the extended family, the risk of reputational contagion, this new reality has come with professional consequences. In March 2026, Princess Eugenie stepped down as the patron of Anti-Slavery International, a role she had held for 7 years. While the charity simply announced the end of her patronage, the timing, amid the escalating scandal, was impossible to ignore. In the face of this institutional crisis, the sisters have been spotted in public projecting an image of determined normalcy. Yet these brief appearances only highlight the stark contrast between their quiet, private lives and the drama unfolding at the highest levels of the monarchy. They are trying to carry on as normal while their world is being redefined. The crisis has also ignited a fierce public debate about their titles. Calls for them to be stripped of their princess status have grown louder, with some arguing that it is untenable for them to hold royal rank while their father is at the center of such a grave scandal. They are caught in an impossible bind. Their titles give them a platform, but that platform is now a lightning rod for criticism. There appears to be no easy way out. Their primary public duty, it seems, is now to be invisible. The tradition of protection has been replaced by a new imperative: the protection of the monarchy from them. The story of Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie is one of tradition, scandal, and the brutal collision of family and duty. What do you think the future holds for the two sisters? Can they ever reclaim their place within the royal family? Or is this a permanent exile? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay up to date on the evolving story of the modern monarchy, make sure to subscribe. The idea that an old royal tradition would insulate Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie from the consequences of their father's actions has been proven to be a fantasy. In the cold, hard reality of 2026, the monarchy's instinct for self-preservation has overridden any sense of familial loyalty. The intense speculation about their exclusion from future events is a profound statement about their new standing within the institution. They are princesses in name, but have become pariahs in practice, punished not for their own actions, but for the unforgivable choices of their father. The decisions being made demonstrate a ruthless new pragmatism at the heart of the slimmed-down monarchy, where any hint of reputational risk is excised, no matter the personal cost. Beatrice and Eugenie are now living in a royal wilderness, stripped of the institutional belonging that was their birthright. The question is no longer whether a tradition can protect them, but whether there is any path back for them at all. As they navigate a future defined by their father's disgrace, they face the lonely task of forging a new identity, one that exists completely outside the palace walls that once defined their world.